Well, hello and welcome back. We're going to talk about a very dense and rich paragraph. It's dense with meaning, it's rich with meaning, it's powerful with meaning, and we're going to talk about just one paragraph today. And the theme is you don't even realize your own power. If you only knew, if you only appreciated your power. Your real power. What then? This is true of all of us. Let's not feel singled out because there is no individual to be singled out after all. This is something that we all underestimate here in the world. If we did not underestimate this, if we really knew and appreciated how powerful we really, really, truly are, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. You wouldn't be watching this image on your screen speaking to you about A Course in Miracles. There wouldn't be A Course in Miracles. There would be no need for A Course in Miracles or any spiritual tradition if we were all back home, awake in God, which, by the way, we are. We've never left. That idea is one that's worth repeating over and over and over again. So we're on chapter 2, part 6 here in the text of A Course in Miracles, Fear and Conflict. And we've been looking at fear. We've been looking at what causes it, how it comes about. And here in the world, now that we've arrived on the very last paragraph of this section, paragraph 9, to be exact, which I invite you to read and reread and then read again. Now that we've arrived here, we see what seems quite obvious to us is that here in the world, everybody experiences fear. Yeah, we all do. We all experience fear. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to consider yourself skittish. It doesn't mean that at all. It doesn't mean that you have to consider yourself anxious or prone to jumpiness, anything like that. That's not what this is saying. It means any time that we identify with the ego, it's based on fear. Anytime we identify as an individual, self-sustaining survival unit, it's an action based on fear. It's based on a fear-based thought. And any troubling emotion, or if you want to call it a negative emotion, which is very common, emotions such as fear, such as sadness, frustration, depression, a fit of rage, just anything where you're ill at ease, any one of those situations is based on a fear-based thought, as we've seen. And of course, we'll continue to see that. Everybody experiences that here in the world. If we didn't experience that fear here in the world, that we would realize that there is no world. We wouldn't appear to be here. We'd be right back where we are and have never left. In other words, we'd be aware of our essential and eternal and perfect oneness. That's the definition of heaven, an awareness of perfect oneness. Ideas leave not their source. We've never left our source. Capital S. Yes, capital S. But here we appear to be. And you're watching a projected image on your screen talking to you about A Course in Miracles. So let's delve into this material so that we can begin to really, really, truly appreciate our power, a real power, not our big, strong biceps or the size of our bank account type power, nor this elusive thing that we call status or worldly power itself. What is that? It's an idea. It's nothing. It's nothing. Our real power is our mind, and we don't appreciate this. Our mind is very powerful. And here in this very articulately worded language, Jesus really drives this home. He wants us to begin to get this, that our mind is very powerful. We dumb ourselves down. There, I said it. It's what we do. We belittle ourselves and debase ourselves and dumb ourselves down here in the world by grossly underappreciating the power of our mind. We take a look at historical figures like Jesus, like Buddha, and other people who have attained awakening and think, well, that's all well and good. They did it, but I can't do that. Who are you to even believe that you cannot when it's certain that you will? The only question is when. It's a matter of time. And you know what? That's what time is for. We don't want to believe, so we refuse to believe here in the world that our thoughts and belief create a power surge that can literally move mountains. These are not my words, they're right here in the Course. We don't believe that our thoughts and belief can create a power surge that can literally move mountains. This is how powerful mind is, our one mind. So we don't think that we can perform miracles. We look at other people and think, okay, well, that's great for them. Yeah, you can do that, but not me. Yeah, I can't do that. What is that but dumbing ourselves down? I mean, let's be perfectly honest here. We're running and hiding. This is what happens to us, whether we're intending it or not, and usually we're not. If we knew what really happened, we wouldn't do it as often, I'm sure. But we don't think that this causes any harm to ourselves, to dumb ourselves down and to absolutely denigrate the power of mind. That's why this is a course in mind training, while all healing takes place at the level of the mind. This is where the action is. We don't appreciate its power, and we actually think it's arrogance to assume that we can perform miracles. We'd prefer to think that we can't. And the real reason we do this is because we're actually afraid of our thoughts. We're afraid of our own power. We're afraid of the power of mind. Why? We've gotten so numb, so dumbed down in our ego clinging that we think it's for someone else but not us, that we could never do that. And it's scary. It appears scary to us. Who we really are, our own mind, our own power, seems scary. So, what a great disservice we do ourselves. Let's just be honest here. What a great disservice we do ourselves when we think that we are not worthy of miracles, of giving or receiving. We think we cannot forgive, we refuse to forgive, and we, at the same time, deem ourselves unworthy of forgiveness because we're sinners. There is no sin. God has no ego to be offended. There is no ego at all. There's no separation, period. There's never been any separation anywhere of any kind. There is not now. There's never been. There never will be. When I say that, that's literal. There's never been any separation of any kind. Remember, accepting atonement for yourself, accepting the correction of the Holy Spirit, is in essence accepting that the separation never occurred, ever. So why are we dumbing ourselves down? Because all of these fear-based thoughts create this web that we appear to be stuck in. They create samsara. Literally, they make it. We made all this up. We don't realize and refuse to accept the power of our own thoughts. So what if we changed our mind? That's what this course is about. Mind training, change your mind. What if we changed our mind and began to appreciate the power of our thought and directed it the way that our inner teacher would like us to? When we let's give our mind to our inner teacher for the purposes of healing, for his purposes. And let's see how powerful we really are. If you really genuinely did this, you would begin to see things very differently. This course aims to bring that about, a complete reversal of our perception. We use our mind to choose right here in the present moment between our reality as spirit or our illusion. Individual human beings, self-sustaining survival units with all the divisions, categories, and subcategories that we may decide to come up with in our fear and complete numbness. So yes, this course is radical. It's supposed to be. And isn't that what you want? There's a reason you're watching this and not something else. There are a lot of spiritual traditions in this world. So ask yourself, ask your inner teacher, why this one? There's a reason why you're watching this particular video. I mean, there's a lot of content out there. Let's appreciate and understand and begin to accept the power of our own mind. There are no idle thoughts. All thinking produces form at some level. That's what Jesus says as he wraps this paragraph up. All thinking produces form at some level. There are no idle thoughts, meaning your fear-based thoughts create a fearful world and more separation. So they do, they make that. Now, your loving thoughts lead to a completely different experience. Your forgiveness leads to a completely different experience. And if we only knew our real power, yeah, if you only knew your real power, then you would be so quick to forgive. You'd be so quick to give your entire experience over to your inner teacher, all of it, with nothing held back at all. You would be so quick to forgive, and you would not be so quick to judge, to blame, to lash out at someone else or yourself. If you really knew and appreciated the power of mind, your power, you would use it for healing. Because we can all use it for separation, pain, frustration, and more of the same that we're longing, yearning deep down, yearning to leave behind. And we can just set it to the side. You can do that right now, and I invite you to do that. Ask your inner teacher to have complete control over your entire experience. Give your experience over to your inner teacher. Yes, that's threatening to the ego, by the way. So when, not if, but when you experience resistance, welcome aboard. Welcome to the path, right? Well, that's what the spiritual path is disidentifying with the ego and setting it aside, not making it an enemy, mind you. That's not what we do. We don't kick fear in the face. We just recognize it for what it is, nothing, and we set it aside. We don't make an opponent out of anything or anyone. That's making it real to us. It's not real. This course is a course in mind training. If we truly understood and appreciated the power of our own mind, we would use it for the Holy Spirit's purposes, for the purposes of healing the Son of God. And what else? What else? I mean, aren't you sick of messing around? Of fucking around? Yeah, let's just put it, let's put it that way. I mean, really, aren't you sick of this wheel of same old of suffering? Samsara, that's what it is. Aren't you sick of that? Deep down, we all are, or we wouldn't be here watching this. I wouldn't be here. Certainly, I wouldn't be here teaching A Course in Miracles at all. We wouldn't be here if we didn't have the inner voice that says, yes, look at this. Think about this. Here's a forgiveness opportunity. Again, here's the same forgiveness opportunity. Take a look at this video. Course in Miracles. Course in Miracles. What's that? Not however this material found you, we're on the spiritual path because we've at least taken a couple of moments to listen to our inner teacher. So get in touch with your inner teacher and begin to appreciate how powerful you really are. Yes, please do that. The subscription button is right down here, the little red arrow. I'd love to have you join me, and thank you to all of you who have recently subscribed and commented. I am available here for your questions and comments. Really, that's one of the reasons why I offer these videos in the first place, is so that I may serve as a guide for you in more than one way. And of course, there's no substitute for putting this into practice. So one cannot simply read the text. One cannot simply watch a video of a teacher talking about a passage of the text. We've got to put it into practice. So how do you practically do this? Paragraph 9, ask your inner teacher, and let's forgive, let's appreciate the power of our mind. That's where the action is. So let's do the action. All right, guys, thank you so much, as always, for joining me. And, well, I will talk to you very soon.